Hi, Leather Rokk here. Gonna do a bleach hair with me episode. Yeah, better late than never, huh? I mean, my roots are only about 4 inches. And this is peroxide I'm using, the 30 volume. It does much faster job than when I used to use a 20 volume. The thing is, when you're using 30 volume, you do have to do your application quicker. Gotta make those rows with your finger, at least that's what I use. Get your partings in, slap it on, don't get it in your eye, don't overlap. Now, one thing I did different this time around, and I always kind of dread doing my bleaching, and I always, excuse me, I always kind of put it off. And here it is, almost 3 in the morning, and I took a real chance letting all my roommates be asleep. I usually like to have somebody awake when I'm putting my bleach on, so that in case I think that I may have missed a spot, somebody could say, yes, there's a spot you missed up here or back here, someplace where I can't see, right? I mean, you can feel when your scalp is wet with the stuff. And when it's been on a while, you can feel a tingling. You definitely feel when something's on and it's active and it's bubbling around in your scalp and stuff. But it's always good to have another pair of eyes that look in the back. So, but I, for whatever reason, got distracted and got delayed in putting this in. And I need to have a video for you guys tomorrow. But what's even more important for me personally is I need to look decent for a concert that I'm going to tomorrow. So that's why I am doing my roots in the wee hours. Usually if I'm doing anything in the wee hours besides video filming, I might be soaking purple in, and so I'm probably going to be sleeping with the purple dye in. Now, you get to see what my sleeping roommates couldn't see. I have no idea what this stuff looks like, guys. Oh, by the way, Father's Day is coming up. And I don't have my father anymore, but this is one of his old Air Force shirts. A part of the reason why I kind of had my delay in doing my roots tonight is because I was looking for something that was white so that bleach wouldn't be a factor in it. And preferably something that was easy to slip in and off. Now, a couple of days ago, it was really, really, really hot. You know, the kind of hot that an unair-conditioned person would be throwing open all the windows and be wearing the most comfortable, loose clothing, and as little of it as you can get away with wearing because it was that hot. And I was thinking if I was going to bleach my hair, then what I was going to wear, just to make it easy to slip off your head and not scrape bleach all over in your eyes, which you don't want. But then I ended up not doing my hair that day because I had other more pressing matters. But when you know that you have a concert that's coming up and you have to have your roots done, both the bleaching and the dyeing and stuff, so I had got to the point where I couldn't put it off any longer. So, but besides just us doing the hair bleaching thing, which is the 30 volume peroxide and this quick blue. Now, when I told you I did something different that I didn't normally do, usually I use the cream peroxide, but I just used the clear peroxide this time. And actually, you know what? There was a difference. In the mixing, one thing that was different was when I would apply the stuff using rubber glove to my hand, my area of my roots that I would be applying it to, sometimes it would just plop right off. It's not bad if you're using a linoleum bathroom surface to apply it in other words, I'm not making a mess. But I'm just hoping that the stuff adheres to my roots and my virgin hair, because if I do need to do a reapplication, you're supposed to let 48 hours go in between. So, now, you know that I went to the beauty supply the other day to exchange something that I changed my mind about buying because I knew that purple pot eyeliner was not going to be very bright, so I figured I shouldn't have bought it. So I finally got that palette I told you guys about that I was debating getting. This is the palette. Isn't that adorable? Now, the back part of it says that the two The four colors in the front are actually supposed to be blushes. Uh, I didn't see that. I saw it is orange, red, and a fuchsia purple, and a purple. So aside from not having a real yellow in it, I could use this if I want to have a rainbow palette. The only thing that I couldn't see when I was looking at this, they put the price sticker right over one of the shadows, so I never could find out what that last color was, so I took it home. But for $1.99, isn't that cute? So it's nice to see a palette, at least from my standpoint, that doesn't have a bunch of crappy colors in it. That actually had, for the most part, they're pretty usable if you like bright shadows. So remember this, Nicka K Cosmetics, Perfect 10 colors. While we're on the subject of colors, don't you hate it when the eyeshadows look one way and then once you start using it, the total, what you thought was a color was just a finish? Well, check this out. This is an LA Colors eyeshadow palette that I got at Dollar Tree last month. And I got it because it had 3 purple shades. And this one, I don't know if you would call it purplish. It's kind of like a periwinkle shade. Now, once I started applying this, and I will use the makeup applicators that came in to illustrate this point. This first shade that looks kind of plummy and kind of boring, maybe. If you look at the edge, if it even shows up on this camera, it looked much more vibrant, much brighter than it was. Now, I went to apply it, and what I got instead of that bright color bright purple color I was hoping to get, I ended up getting a plum, muted, neutral color, a color that a person could easily use for a brown, neutral eyeshadow. However, these two are still very usable for my purposes. The color in the center, while not being excruciatingly bright, it still kind of makes sense. And this color here, the periwinkle kind of shade, that's quite nice. And because it's still on the bluer end of the purple spectrum, this will work in the instances where you would normally maybe consider using a blue eyeshadow. Because I do like to go matchy-matchy with my eyeshadows and the things that I'm wearing. Oh, I want to show you something that I got very useful when I was at the beauty supply place. This was on the clearance rack by the hair care section, and I wasn't even going to go there, except I was looking at some foundation. For $2, this is a liquid exfoliator by the company called Frutique, and it says Beauty by Nature. Now this has papaya enzyme. It says exfoliating gel. Now I don't like the smell of papaya. I can't stand them. To me, it smells like somebody passed gas. I don't like them. I can't eat foods that stink. I'm funny that way. But, however, papaya does have enzymes which both can be used to help you digest your food. Papain, that's where that comes from. It's in meat tenderizer. But also, as a facial exfoliant, those acids can be used to slough off dead skin cells. And this is an 8-ounce, 6.8 fluid ounce bottle, 200 milliliters, and it says gentle exfoliant for all skin types. This resurfacing gel detaches dead skin cells and removes impurities using papaya fruit enzymes. Directions: gently massage into clean, dry skin in a circular motion for 30 to 60 seconds until dead skin cells appear in flakes. Rinse with warm water twice weekly. So see, this isn't a leave-on acid exfoliant like what I usually use, but it doesn't have grains either. I already applied it one time. It has a pump, and it comes out pretty fast, so you got to have your hand right underneath it. Now, I don't know what the normal list price is of this, but considering what I was paying for my Paula's Choice acid exfoliants, and then because the cost grew to be too much, I switched to straight up white vinegar for my acid exfoliant. And I like that because it being a thin, watery consistency, it has a nice dry down finish that doesn't interfere with the skincare that I put on top of it. But this is yet another way to exfoliate dead skin cells, and $2 for a nice full bottle. I don't think you can beat it. And if it recommends you use twice a week, then I can use my apple. Well, I don't use apple cider vinegar so much. I do use a straight white vinegar, but sometimes I do use apple cider vinegar. It just I use white vinegar because that it has a lower pH. I'm going to close my door. Hold on. Tabby boy had to do that. So, do you like this palette? Do you think it was smart for me to get it? I mean, I really don't need more makeup, honestly. Oh, speaking of makeup though, these were 30% off. List price $7.89. CoverGirl Smoothers. Most of the tag was covered up by the price sticker, but it said Classic Ivory. And hey, 30% off, $7.89. That seems like a pretty good price. That said, this isn't quite as light as the other foundations that I think match my skin type better. This matches much better the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the 102 Porcelain. That's a much better fit. This feels and looks kind of darker, but maybe for summer that's not such a bad thing, even though I don't get any color in me in the summertime, and I sure don't want to encourage that because I avoid the sun more than anybody I know. But those were the things that I got at the beauty supply place. Now I will continue to monitor the timing for this and make sure that I don't have a dear darling roommate decide to take a shower maybe just when I would need to rinse out the stuff, and the last thing I want is for it to be on too long in a break. So next time I see you, I will either have my yellow white roots or maybe even have my hair done, but I'm probably going to do a hair dye video. So till then, talk to you later. Bye.